Joaquin Guzman, aka El Chapo, was sent to the deadliest prison in the US in 2016. This prison is so dangerous that people barely make it out alive. You guys might be wondering, what was El Chapo's crime that made him end up in this terrifying prison? Well, let me explain. The story begins back in the 90s when El Chapo was considered to be the greatest drug dealer in the world after Pablo Escobar. He built an empire of narcotics in Mexico for himself and earned $3 million every year from it. Crazy, right? He was also the co-founder of the famous Guadalajara cartel. He also formed his own organization named the Sinaloa cartel. He was literally the king of drugs at that time. His decline came when a Catholic cardinal who was linked to El Chapo's organization died. El Chapo was arrested for the first time on June 9, 1993 by the Mexican army. This is when the story took a twist. El Chapo was sentenced to 20 years in prison for different charges. He was sent to the federal maximum security prison in Mexico. However, the Mexican government was still not satisfied as El Chapo had a lot of money and power, which meant that he could flee anytime. As expected, in 2001, El Chapo escaped from the prison with a prison guard named Francisco El Chito Camberos Rivera. He literally took a $2.5 million bribe from El Chapo to arrange a laundry cart and sneak El Chapo out of the building. Now you guys might be thinking about how the laundry cart got out of the building without being noticed in a maximum security prison, right? Well, you guys will be shocked to hear that El Chapo actually had all the people and guards in the prison under his payroll. He had total control of the prison, and his escape was extremely easy. After he had escaped from the prison, his next target was San Diego. There he was charged with money laundering and importing tons of cocaine into California, along with his attorney named Humberto Loya Castro, who helped him by bribing Mexican officials on behalf of Sinaloa to release the arrested members of the organization. El Chapo had so much power that he escaped from the prison one more time with total ease. However, for his third arrest, the police had planned things very smartly. He was arrested on January 8, 2016, and was sent to the ADX Florence Supermax prison. The thing about this prison is that it is among the very few prisons on Earth from which the prisoners never come out alive. It is also said that this prison is literally hell for any criminal. The moment El Chapo arrived in the US, he knew that his life was about to end soon. For the very first time had fear in his eyes, as he knew that his power wouldn't be of any use in this deadly prison. After looking into his case, El Chapo was found guilty of all the charges and was sentenced to life in prison, along with 30 years in the deadly ADX Florence Supermax. This creepy prison is located in Colorado, and is a place for the most ruthless criminals of all time. These criminals are people with no heart and have harmed many people. Now, the specialty of this prison is that it tortures all these crazy criminals just like they tortured innocent people in the world. It is literally any criminal's nightmare to end up in this jail. El Chapo was sent to prison and was put in solitary confinement for 23 hours on a daily basis. They are only allowed to get out of that room for 1 hour, in which they are strictly prohibited to talk to any other prisoner or anyone. They are only allowed to roam a bit all alone in an underground concrete pit while being chained, and then they are then sent back to their confinement. Also during this time, they are highly supervised and watched. How creepy is that, right? I mean, imagine being all alone by yourself for 24 hours. According to the prisoners who have experienced this hell, it is actually much more horrifying than physical torture, as it causes them to become mentally sick and depressed. This is the main reason why people say that the one who goes to this prison either dies or becomes mentally unstable. The prisoners aren't provided with any gym facilities or sports activities. The only activity they are allowed to do is read books and watch black and white TV. Keeping in mind that this privilege is only offered to prisoners who demonstrate good behavior. El Chapo was given this privilege, however, according to his lawyer, he was constantly watched by guards who never allowed him to sleep. He had a small 4x4 window in his room from which he could look at the sky and think about how he had destroyed his life with his own hands. According to reports, El Chapo can most probably not escape from this prison as his power and money is of no use there. The only way he can get out of there is to complete his 30-year sentence. Let's see if El Chapo makes it out alive or not. Alright guys, so those were some horrifying details about El Chapo's deadly Supermax prison. Catch you guys in the next one.